In the ancient kingdom of Elaria, where marble towers kissed the clouds and songs of the court praised the royal family's glory, there lived a girl who was never meant to be remembered, a maid named Nyasha. She came from the outskirts of the city, from a family so poor they could not afford a name worth keeping. Her hands were scarred from years of scrubbing stone floors, and her eyes carried a softness that the palace's glitter could never dull. Each dawn, she would rise before the sun, sweep the royal halls, polish the golden mirrors, and prepare the queen's chamber before her majesty awoke. Yet, despite her diligence, the queen, Queen Malika, despised her. "Do not let her near me," the queen would hiss. "She looks at me with those cursed eyes, as if she pities me." But what truly haunted Queen Malika was not pity. It was beauty. For though Nyasha wore rags, her beauty was of the kind that glowed quietly, not with jewels, but with grace. Her smile disarmed even the guards, and her gentleness spread like morning light through dark corridors. The queen's jealousy burned hotter each passing day. One evening, during a royal feast, Queen Malika summoned Nyasha to pour wine for the guests. Nobles whispered as she passed, admiring her poise despite her simple dress. The queen's face tightened. When the goblet slipped from Nyasha's trembling hand and splashed a drop upon her royal gown, Malika's rage exploded. "Filthy girl," she screamed, slapping Nyasha so hard that her cheek burned red. "You stain my robes with your clumsiness. Crawl on your knees and beg forgiveness." The hall went silent. Nyasha, her face stinging and heart heavy, knelt before the queen and whispered, "Your Majesty, I meant no harm. May the gods forgive my fault, and bless your heart to find peace." Even as humiliation pressed upon her like chains, she did not cry. That night, the queen ordered her banished from the inner chambers. From then on, Nyasha worked in the servants' quarters, sleeping beside the ovens and eating leftovers from the royal feasts. But fate, as it often does, watched silently, waiting for its turn to speak. Years passed, and Elaria knew no peace. War came suddenly, a rival kingdom marched across its borders with fire and vengeance. The palace that once glittered with laughter now echoed with screams and the clash of steel. King Zuberi, brave but unprepared, led his soldiers into battle, and was struck down. Rumors spread that the king was dead, and Queen Malika fled into hiding, her throne collapsing like sand beneath the tide. In the chaos, Nyasha escaped into the countryside, carrying nothing but her faith. She found refuge in a small abandoned cottage by the forest's edge, a quiet place where she prayed daily for peace and gathered herbs for the wounded who passed by. She had no riches, no home, no family, but her heart remained kind. One stormy night, as rain lashed the roof and thunder shook the hills, Nyasha heard a faint knock. Opening the door, she found a man collapsed at her threshold, his royal cloak torn, his arm bleeding, his crown missing. It was the king. She gasped but quickly pulled him inside, ignoring the mud that stained her floor. "Please," he murmured weakly, "hide me. They hunt me still." Without hesitation, Nyasha tore strips from her only blanket, cleaned his wounds, and kindled a fire. For days, she nursed him back to health, hiding him from soldiers who searched the woods. She shared her last morsels of food, whispering prayers over him as he slept. He never revealed his name at first, but she knew. There was something noble in his silence, something gentle in his gaze that spoke of both pain and power. When his strength returned, King Zuberi looked upon Nyasha with gratitude deeper than words. "Why did you help me?" he asked softly. "You owe me nothing. I am but a fallen man." She smiled. "Because even kings are men, my lord. And every man deserves mercy." He watched her quietly. "You speak like one who was born to heal hearts, not floors." Nyasha blushed, looking away. "I was born to serve, it is all I know." The king took her hands in his. Then may the gods forgive us for making you serve where you should have been honored. But before she could reply, royal guards found their refuge. To protect her, Zuberi made her hide in the cellar as he surrendered himself. "Stay hidden," he whispered. "If I live, I will find you again. If I die, remember this, the kindness you gave me was worth 1,000 crowns." Months passed. The war ended, Elaria triumphed, for King Zuberi had survived and reclaimed his throne. The palace celebrated his return. Trumpets blared, dancers sang, and nobles showered him with false praise. But the king's heart was restless, for in all the splendor, one face was missing. He sent messengers across the land, searching for a woman named Nyasha, a maid who lives with the heart of a queen. When they finally found her, she was still in her small cottage, tending to sick children from nearby villages. She bowed deeply when she saw the royal guards. "I have done nothing wrong," she said quietly. The messenger smiled. "No, my lady. You have done everything right." The next morning, the court assembled in the grand hall, nobles glittering in gold, courtiers whispering in confusion. King Zuberi entered, his voice echoing through the chamber. "Years ago, when I was a man without a crown, a humble maid saved my life. She gave me shelter when all others gave me fear. And now, it is time I repay what heaven itself decreed." The doors opened. Nyasha entered in a simple white dress. Gasps rippled through the hall. Queen Malika, now stripped of power and trembling among the courtiers, could not speak. The king descended from his throne, took Nyasha's hand, and said, "You served without pride. You loved without reward. The gods have spoken through your kindness, and I will obey." He turned to the crowd and declared, "From this day forth, Nyasha of the dust shall be Nyasha, Queen of Elaria. For a heart that serves deserves to reign." The nobles bowed, some with shame, others with awe. Tears glistened in Nyasha's eyes as the crown, once heavy with vanity, rested gently on her brow. She looked toward the queen who once despised her and whispered softly, "May peace find your heart as it once found mine." Please, if you are new here, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more interesting stories.